What's up, Junkie Nation? It's your boy Ken Shiro back with another great episode of Culture Junkies Live. Today, we are going to be celebrating the career of Tom Cruise. It's been 4 decades since this dude busted on the scene, and I'm telling you, he's been entertaining us ever since. So we're doing a retrospective on his entire career, but we're also going to offer you a top 5 list of his best roles ever, as voted by you, the Junkie Nation. Joining me, as always, are my friends, the great Dada Kuji and GQ. And
hey, everybody. Nice to see you again this week.
In the meantime, and as usual, go fuck yourself.
And that's it, because we're actually on our own today. We're going to run the show as a 3-man cell. That's really all we need. It's just, kind of just us right here. Say what's up to Wolverine Solid X in the chat. We want to say and thank you for the resub. Appreciate it, sir. So for those of you joining us out there for the first time, if this is your first time joining us on Culture Junkies Live, thank you for choosing to spend your evening with us. We're going to be entertaining you for the next 45 minutes. The last 15 minutes of the show, though, is dedicated to you, the people, in our Power is Yours segment, where we talk about anything that you guys want to talk about, whether it be the musings of people, complaining about DC Studios or the Activision, Blizzard merger, or what anime that you guys are checking out for the summer season. It's all on the table. We talk about it. Let me also let you know how the show works. So over on my right shoulder, we've got our follower goal, where if we reach our follower goal of the month, that triggers a follower giveaway where you'll be eligible to win anything from GQ's, magical treasure chest, where you could be, graphic novels, art books, collectibles, games. We got PS5 games in there as well. But also the one on my left shoulder is the extra life meter, where that Power is Yours segment can be extended by 30 minutes just by filling up the meter, so you can trigger that goal actually twice. All right, guys, without further ado, let's move on to the Run the Gamut segment. So first of all, the merger is complete. The merger between Activision, Blizzard, and Microsoft, what really is more like an acquisition. It's not a merger. It's more of an acquisition. Microsoft is finally going to be able to purchase Activision Blizzard, but with some caveats. They have to leave Call of Duty as a multi-platform game for at least the next decade. So that's one of the concessions that they made to do that. They also will be maintaining that they will not be taking, previously multi-platform games away from the platforms that had them for a specific set of time. So guys, just really briefly, I know it's just the three of us here, so we can quickly talk about it. But what do you guys make of this merger? And do you think this is good, bad? And what do you think the future will be for Microsoft? Moving on.
I don't think anything is bad coming from it. I mean, it's just a publisher now that's underneath a bigger company. And, Activision has been around since the Atari 2600. They've been pumping out a lot of freaking classics and whatnot. So if it's not going to be multi-plat, it's not going to be single plat. I personally don't understand what's the point, because if this was in the 90s, it definitely would have been. I'm like, sorry, this is going to be on our systems nowadays. But now it's just I don't know. I don't see what's the point.
You don't see what's the point?
I don't see what's the point of Microsoft buying them.
Oh, you don't see it? Well,
it doesn't help their brand.
Okay.
It's just there because they bought Mojang and I can't remember. I don't play this game at all.
Bethesda.
No, well, they bought Bethesda, but no, Minecraft.
Oh, okay.
And Minecraft was huge. They could have freaking had that all to themselves. You want to play Minecraft? It'd be PC or Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
But it's on a Switch.
Mm-hmm.
It's on the PlayStation 4 and or 5. Minecraft Dungeons, which I do enjoy, is multi. I can play somebody on the Switch and I'm playing on my Xbox and all around. And so I just don't see how that's actually going to be helpful for their brand.
If they would have tried to take Minecraft away from the masses, that would have been a big mistake on their part, because that would have, for a lot of, I guess, parents and a lot of people, that would have kind of made them jaded. Like, okay, well, I don't want to buy it. My kid an Xbox, or our PC isn't for gaming, or again, Minecraft isn't the most intensive game ever, but some families still have that the PC is for work or school, not games, type of mentality. So if they would have took Minecraft away, that would have been okay, Microsoft kind of sucks for a lot of people in the sense of I don't want to buy an Xbox for this game that my kid wants, you know. But like I agree with you 100% on the other thing. There, so if you're going to keep a lot of these multi-plat, only thing it really is just the money for the Microsoft. It's just money into their pockets. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Outside of that, it's like kind of really what has changed. Outside of who's getting paid now.
Right.
Whose names on the ledger, basically.
Right. And to flesh this out, Dido, to kind of further your point, this doesn't really fit the Xbox brand, but I think the Xbox brand is starting to be less synonymous with a platform and more synonymous with just software. So, and follow me with my thinking on this. I think we're going to get to a point where within the next 10 years, and really maybe even within the next 3, I do not think Microsoft will be making another console. I think this is the last Xbox we're going to get. They're going to shift to strictly being a software publisher. Sony and Nintendo will be the only consoles, technically, that will be in people's hands, and the rest will just be on PC or mobile gaming. And the reason I say that is because if you look at all of their moves, they're buying of Bethesda, they're buying now of Activision and stuff like that. It's really to bolster their Game Pass service. Mm-hmm. So, and what is their Game Pass service if not just a vehicle to get people to subscribe and give them more money? Now, do they necessarily need an Xbox to do that? No, because it's on PC. It is on Switch, right? I thought
I heard something about it. I don't know if it's there yet. I mean, that's not a concern of mine because, as I may have stated before, I had Xbox Game Pass for like a year because they gave it to me for $1, and it's a great thing, literally, for people nowadays, where you can play as many games as you friggin' want, download them right to your system and play them as long as you're in the service. Mm-hmm. But my collection, I wouldn't play those games because I got a big collection. I mean, I don't get around to playing the stuff as soon as it comes out anymore.
Indeed. No. What's up to Picture Man? Hey, how you doing? I want to say what's up to Christy. 12-1971. Glad to have everybody with us on the program.
Yep. King checking in. Looks
yep,
like
King
well.
to Keem. We will talk more about this in the Power Zero segment. Just don't forget to bring it up. Moving right along, the Superman Legacy cast grew by 4 this week when the actors of Hawkgirl, Mr. Terrific, Metamorpho, and Guy Gardner were announced just yesterday. Well, Metamorpho today and the other 3 yesterday. The biggest being fan favorite Nathan Fillion being cast as Guy Gardner. This really says a couple of things for me as far as like the DCU and Superman Legacy in general. But naturally, a lot of the naysayers are already complaining that because there's having a whole bunch of Superman or a superhero in it, it's not going to be a Superman movie anymore. However, Gunn is a master. I mean, he's a master at making ensembles work in his films. So really, I just plead to you all, just let the man cook. What do you guys think?
Again, all the complaints that people keep having about stuff, from my honest opinion, is just like, sit down, shut up, watch the movie. Because like, there's many a comic that is similar to having ensemble people in a comic. You don't hear people complaining about comics like that. Like, what's the deal? They just complain about.
They do.
I mean, maybe they do. I personally, I guess I don't hear it.
Right.
But it's just. I don't know, dude. He's proven that he can work his magic on the Marvel side. Granted, it was only 3 movies in a series of movies.
What is he doing?
Yeah, I agree with that. What's up, Preen? Thank you for the resub. GQ, you got any comments?
Yeah, real quick on that. If this had been back when, what was it, Batman and Robin stuck 3 villains in there. Yeah. That's back when they were doing that. Yeah, I would see the complaints because it's like, okay, you guys don't know how to balance these stories with multiple characters and all that. We're past all that now. Avengers has already shown that it can be done. James Gunn has done it many a times in a lot of his older. Dude, look at Sliver. Look at a lot of the different movies he's put out. He's really good at that. I think what we're going to get in this regard is probably not so much a Justice League that's already happening, but a group of heroes that are already kind of doing their thing, and Superman may show up and be like the new guy on the block that's a million times more powerful than everybody. And it's just like, well, guess we better work with this guy from now on.
Well, it's not strictly an origin because Gunn has already stated that his Superman will actually have already been, publicly active for at least a couple of years.
Yeah, that's good.
So it's going to be like in his rookie career. But what I think this is going to do, and this is just speculation on my part, and then we'll move on. What I think this is going to do is to basically elevate Superman as the standard bearer of what it means to be a superhero, a protector of the entire world. Because what better way to showcase that than to juxtapose him against other heroes who are also already doing it, and they're just saying, okay, yeah, no, this guy is just better, you know. So I just that's all I gotta say about that.
Hold on, is Guy Gardner really a hero? No, I mean, I know he's a Lantern, but Batman punked him out as soon as he met him.
The whole punch heard around the world. Yes, no. So
No.
I mean, but that's what makes it brilliant casting. Nathan Fillion as Guy Gardner. I mean, everybody wanted him to be Hal Jordan like for the past 20 years, really. But you know, he's too old for that. So why not to basically fulfill those fan wishes of having him be a Green Lantern, give him Guy Gardner and have him kind of like kickstart it. Side note, I also think this definitely cements that Jon Stewart is going to be the main GL in the DCU because Guy Gardner's best friend is Jon Stewart.
That would be
both
cool.
from Michigan, aren't they? At least I know Guy Gardner went to Michigan. I think he went to
University of Michigan, I think.
Yeah, but what you call it? You just said his name. Jon
Stewart
is from
Yes,
Detroit,
from Detroit.
right?
Yeah.
So they're both Michiganders.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, we'll see.
That'll be cool, but either way, when it comes to Guy Gardner,
Mhm.
Nutless monkey could do your job.
So I want to say what's up to the Fallen Marvel. Hey, how you doing? I want to say also what's up to Marcus A64 for joining us in the chat. Thank you.
Fallen confirmed that he's a Detroit native.
Yes, he is. So in other DC news,
I have one quick question.
oh yeah.
Is he going to have the bowl cut and orange hair?
So
Nathan
I've heard
Fillion?
that yes, he will definitely have the bowl cut.
Okay.
I've heard that is confirmed. That is a rumor, but you got to do the bowl cut. I mean,
Hold on,
Nathan
how can it be
Fillion as the
confirmed and a
bowl in the bowl
rumor?
cut.
Huh?
How
Was
can
that?
it be confirmed and a rumor?
So I've heard that.
Confirmed.
Okay, not confirmed. Excuse me. It's what I've heard is that he definitely will have the bowl cut. But Nathan Fillion in the bowl cut as Guy Gardner. Oh my God, that's going to be great. In other DC news, the Blue Beetle trailer dropped. I think it was yesterday. The second trailer, the longest trailer that came out.
Too long.
It was way too long. It was like almost 3 minutes. And I'll be damned if the same thing for DC trailers keeps on happening. They showed way too damn much of this movie. They showed stuff from the first act, second act, and third act in this movie, including who he's going to be fighting. What is going on? Who is in charge of these trailers over there? This is crazy. You guys saw it. What'd you think?
I look forward to the movie. Again, I tried to look as little at the trailer at the time it was being played because it's just DC. That's what they're known for. Let's tell the movie in the trailer.
Exactly.
And I want to go see the movie because it looks like it's gonna be fun. I wish I could pronounce my man's name. Shoshimiko. No, that's not it.
No. Jolo Mariduena.
Jolo. Yeah, I'm sorry. I would love to pronounce it properly because I like to be able to pronounce people's names because that shows the most respect, in my honest opinion. But he looks like he's gonna take that character and have lots of fun with it. So
yeah,
I mean, I want to see the movie,
right?
So I'm not gonna watch the trailer. I've already put myself that I'm not gonna watch too many trailers nowadays. TV trailers are different because they might pull from various episodes, but movie trailers, a lot of them don't know what they do. I know he's dead. But AI is here so they can bring his voice back. in the world.
Yeah, I need that too.
Else.
Yeah, no, I need that too.
But no, piggybacking off of what Dido said, that DC does have that problem. Warner Brothers especially has that problem of, let's just basically lay out the entire movie in the trailer, and if you're smart enough, you can piece it together as to what's going to happen when. So hopefully they'll get their act together. Maybe James Gunn will have some type of sway in that. Because a lot, again, I'm not saying he did the Guardians trailers or anything, but it's like you notice a lot of in most cases, most of the Marvel trailers are pretty good about giving you just enough to get you in the theater or, to stream it or whatever it is. Looking at the Blue Beetle trailer, it's another in their long line of why are you guys showing all of this so soon? It's just, let me get to the theater and have something to be shocked by. So hopefully they'll get out of that mode at some point. Either way, I'm going to go check out the movie.
Sure.
Fallen had a good point. He says he watches one teaser, one trailer, and that's it.
That's a damn good rule. Like, really, that is a good rule to follow. That really should be like a bylaw of being a culture junkie. You just watch one teaser, one trailer, cut yourself off. Don't watch nothing else because they definitely going to spoil
the
it for you.
message. He hasn't seen the trailer.
And wise man, don't see it. Do not see it. Like, just save yourself the headache. Don't see it. All right, guys. So lastly, in Run the Gamut, so the Emmy nominations were announced today. And for the shows that we care about, The Last of Us predictably leads the way with 9 nominations.
Wow.
9 nominations, including Best Drama, Best Actor, and Actress, and a crap ton of guest actor nominations, which actually, honestly, should have been expected because they had a stellar guest star list. They really did. Star Wars Andor is also in the running for Best Drama. While Obi-Wan Kenobi has got a nod for Outstanding Limited Series. And for those that kind of care even just a little, The Rings of Power was completely snubbed.
It's because I didn't watch it.
Oh, is that right? That's why you're a voting member in the Emmys, the Motion Picture Awards?
It's just because I decided to, through my subconscious of the geekdom in this world, I didn't watch it, so therefore it wasn't.
Like, dude, I watched, I think, maybe 3 episodes of The Rings of Power. Cinematography was fantastic, but I just, for whatever reason, it wasn't compelling enough to keep me wanting to watch it week after week. So I just kind of checked out. I didn't. What about The Boys? Boys was not mentioned getting any primary Emmy nominations. So I don't know what to say. It didn't get a vote. Neither did Mandalorian, which I guess was kind of surprising, seeing how its first 2 seasons got Emmy nominations for best miniseries. All right, guys, that's enough news. So we're gonna take a quick break. Then we'll come back and start talking about Tom Cruise. We'll be back in a few minutes.
The entire Culture Junkies crew would like to thank you for tuning into our programming. We hope you are enjoying our content as much as we enjoy making it. One thing that helps us continue bringing you our unique content is viewer support. By visiting the Culture Junkies Patreon page, you will have the opportunity to select the support level that works best for you. Not only will your support help keep the Culture Junkie Nation growing, but you will make yourself eligible to receive patron-exclusive swag. Please take a moment to consider supporting us and join the ranks of the supporters you see listed on the screen. We would like to also give a special shout out to our Culture Junkies level and above patrons: DeMarcus Smith, Fab Nerd Life, NanetteNet, The Other Steve, and Black Crowned Knight. Remember, for as little as $1 a month, you can support a Culture Junkie. Thank you.
All right, guys. Once again, I want to thank all of our patrons for their ongoing support. If you want to join the Culture Junkie Nation, we'd be honored to have you with us. We'd be honored if you would join us, as Darth Vader would say, over on patreon.com/Culture Junkies. Low as $1 mini tiers, with more sophisticated tiers coming in the next few months. All right, guys. So it has been 4 decades, really, 4 decades since Tom Cruise rose to stardom. And the man has really been on top ever since. I mean, most careers have if you're in Hollywood, most careers really kind of plateau after maybe 10, 20 years, right? And that's if you're relatively good. Most careers flame out. This man has been around for 40 years. That's not his entire career. It's like his entire career is closer to 50 than it is 40. But as far as being a prominent, like, bankable movie star, it's been about 40 years since this guy has been on top. Yeah. And with the release of Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning Part 1, he ain't slowing down. He's done it all. If you think about it, he's been an action star. He's been a comedic actor. He's been a drama actor. He's been in fantasy films. He's been in sci-fi films. He's been in anime inspired films. What hasn't this man done outside of maybe a sports? Technically, he did a sports film with Jerry Maguire, but that was more of a I can't say it was a rom-com, but
it was a drama.
Yeah, it was a drama. So like,
it was some comedy and then obviously sports.
You said show me the money.
Seemingly, like, I think the romantic comedy is like kind of the only thing that he did. Well, actually, no. If you think about it, wasn't Night and Day kind of like the rom-com type, action rom-com type? So yeah, this man has really done it all. So we're here to talk about Tom Cruise, celebrate his career, and then later in the show, a little bit later in the show, we're going to give you the top 5 roles that Tom Cruise has ever had, and he's had a lot, as voted on by you, the Culture Junkie Nation. So guys, without further ado, what do you guys love best about Tom Cruise as an actor in his career?
Yeah, well, he has seemed to be kind of diverse. He's not like some actors when they get into movies, it's that actor. But as of late, now when he does action movies, to me they all do seem like the same character. But like going back in the '80s and the '90s, he was doing different stuff. I mean, in the '80s, he had Top Gun. I don't remember too much Days of Thunder, but I'm pretty sure he was not the same character as he was in Top Gun. Legend, which apparently didn't do well in the theaters, but is one of my favorite. I enjoy watching that when I was, a young kid, and they were all, hits. From my understanding, the only box office bomb he ever had was Legend, and everything else he did, marginally well. But like, I mean, the dude does what he needs to do. He goes out there, and now that he's old and not afraid, I guess, goes and does all his goddamn stunts because, as somebody mentioned in the chat, Primo, that his Thetans, he hasn't got rid of all of them, but he got enough to freaking sit on the top of the Burj Khalifa because, like, why not? You let me hang on the side of a plane because, shit, add to realism. I don't know. I mean, he's out there doing his thing. He can, people, clowned on him when he was jumping on the couch at Oprah's house, but
Oprah's show, but yeah.
Not her literal house, but her show is her house.
Yeah,
no,
you got a point. You got a point.
So, jumping on the couch like freaking, talking about fucking her couch or whatever. But
what? Go ahead.
Like Rick James.
Special reference.
Like Rick James. Fuck your
couch. Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, I mean, I've enjoyed I won't say every movie. No, I mean pretty much because I haven't watched all of them. I can't say that I've seen every single Tom Cruise movie.
Well, sure.
But the ones that I have watched, I like it. Maybe I need to go back because I don't recall too much Days of Thunder. I don't think I've ever seen it. Like,
I've never watched Days of Thunder, but I did watch Far and Away, which came out, I think, that next year. I watched it on cable, and that was actually a really, really good movie.
I didn't see that. I didn't see, like, most of his dramedies, whatever. I know I didn't see Eyes Wide Shut. That just didn't look interesting.
Yeah.
But people apparently may have liked it.
Well,
Wasn't
are you
that
saying
Stanley
you didn't see
Kubrick's
Jerry
last
Maguire?
film or something?
You didn't see Jerry Maguire either?
I saw Jerry Maguire.
Okay.
Most definitely seen that one.
Okay.
Risky Business I saw when I was a kid. It was like on TV, and I don't really remember too much of it. I want to go back and watch that.
Right.
Same thing with The Color of Money. Kind of want to go back and watch those because I don't remember too much of it.
What was The Color of Money a sequel to? It kind of. It was a Paul Newman movie. I think there was a sequel to.
It was Martin Scorsese's.
Yeah, it was definitely a sequel to one of Paul Newman. Yeah, Paul Newman.
Yeah,
it was a sequel to whatever movie he did. Basically the same exact story, more or less. It was almost like a remake, really.
Was it The Hustler?
Probably.
Okay.
Yeah, probably. Well, I think it was called The Hustler.
Yeah,
but it was a pool movie or whatever.
Yeah,
which was cool.
Right.
One that I noticed you didn't mention in there was what's that one he did where like it ended up raining frogs at the end of the movie?
Vanilla Sky?
Yeah,
they literally just mentioned that.
Sky.
Prima just mentioned that. Vanilla Sky was weird.
I thought
Eyes
Vanilla
Wide Shut
Sky was
weird.
good. And the movie he didn't really star in that we all love, Tropic Thunder. When I was sitting in that theater, I did not know that was him. And I'm not gonna lie, like you just like, oh yeah, you can see it in his eyes. When I was sitting there watching Tropic Thunder, man, I did not see it until like later on in the movie. I was like, holy crap, that was like big time to me acting.
Now, see, here's what sold it for me, and like you said, the eyes is what got it. But when he did this line,
really fucking hard.
Yes,
like his intent. See, Tom Cruise has an intensity. About him. So like,
yes,
it's like when Les Grossman got on screen, it's like, oh my god, they got Tom Cruise. It's like, this is hilarious. Only because you recognize that intensity and that stare right through you stare that he has in his scenes when he's really, really serious, or when he's giving interviews about Scientology. But so Tom has been a very interesting actor and had a obviously very interesting career over this time. Some people did bring up some stuff that did suck.
Vanilla Sky,
and The Mummy.
The Mummy.
Now
let's scrub The Mummy out of our brain, shall we?
I like the actress from The Mummy, Sophia Boutella. She's amazing and she looks great too. But The Mummy was a good idea. Tom Cruise was the worst casting for it because once you have Tom Cruise in there, they had to change some stuff. It's like, dude, realistically, if Tom Cruise wasn't in that movie and they would have just kind of followed the flow of like, no, she's ridiculously powerful, you're gonna need something crazy to happen to either stop. You can't stop her because that was kind of the whole idea of it. Is like she's kind of unstoppable, and they were trying to build to that whole Universal's dark universe thing or whatever. If Tom Cruise was not in that film, they could have actually done a movie that would have led into some of the other dark universe stuff. Because I mean, Russell Crowe as Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde was amazing. He was really, really great casting for that. And then, but like you had Tom Cruise, it's like, well, he's got to be the hero. He can't die, so I guess that's where the story is going to revolve around this now.
That's true.
That's what kind of messed that up.
Right.
What's the name of that other movie?
What other
The
movie?
Aliens.
The one with the aliens.
Yeah, he was in a movie
War
with
of
the
the
aliens.
Worlds.
Oh, War of the Worlds.
War of the Worlds.
War of the
That's
Worlds.
it.
Which, I mean, honestly, okay, War of the Worlds, you were thinking that it wasn't an M. Night Shyamalan movie, but it felt like one. Because it was like, okay, it felt very, didn't it come out like around the same time as Signs did?
Probably.
I think it did. I could have swore it did.
I think it was
but,
a few years later.
But I thought, because I was a huge War of the Worlds fan. Like, I loved the original movie, and I loved that 80s TV series that they had. Like, I really, really enjoyed that. And I was excited, like, Tom Cruise, War of the Worlds, man, this is going to be awesome. And it kind of wasn't, Yeah. It really kind of wasn't. You touched on him being a member of the Church of Scientology, which, if you think about it, everybody that is, like, the Church of Scientology is just weird. And it seems like everybody associated with that church is a really wacky or weird character. But Tom Cruise seems to be like the most, I don't even want to say the most normal, but he's definitely the most famous of them all. And despite some of the actors that are attached to the Church of Scientology, he has had the longest career. So it's almost like, do you think maybe he sacrificed someone to L. Ron Hubbard's mysterious, mystical alien overlords or something like that? Because
he's probably just giving them enough money that all the movie producers keep, are repaying him or whatever.
Or he got some dirt on him.
That too.
Or we got some dirt.
I don't know. He don't make it right. That's one group you probably don't want to really.
I mean, hey, don't they got a branch like right downtown? Yeah, no, I'm serious. I think they have a branch right down off of Jefferson Avenue. There's a Church of Scientology chapter out there. Yes.
I don't know. I mean, again, his religious beliefs aside, and I think he actually stepped away from the church.
Oh, did he? Oh, okay.
Like that was. Again, they don't really make big headlines out of stuff like that.
Right.
But I think he actually has, because he was like one of the top level guys forever. But I think he stepped away from it. So I don't know, not 100% sure. What was it? Somebody brought it up earlier. Collateral. Wolverine Solid X brought up Collateral.
Oh,
yeah, I thought Collateral was good. I did see, and he was a villain in that.
Actually, if you think about it, really, he was a villain in a lot of movies.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I shouldn't say a lot. It's actually really rare that he's a villain. He's a villain. Like, he has villainous roles that are kind of like indirectly villainous.
Like what?
I think they said his character in Taps was indirectly villainous. Les Grossman was indirectly villainous. His guy in Magnolia, while despicable, he was kind of villainous. No, in Collateral, he was a straight out killer, assassin, like straight up villain. Like, he was the main dude.
Here's the rebuttal to that.
Yeah.
He wasn't really a villain. All he was somebody that was a paid contractor. He was paid to do a particular job.
Here we go again.
But no, it's the truth though.
The evil, the
it
certain
is,
point of view.
It's 100% the evil is a point of view thing from Vampire Interview with the Vampire. Because think about it. If your job is to be an assassin, and you don't have any ill will towards anybody that you're killing, you're not. It's a job. This is what you do for work. How is that necessarily evil? I'm not talking about the biblical morality of it, because that's something that's made up by man.
That's a personal deal.
Yeah, that's something they either subscribe to or they don't subscribe to.
Right.
There is nothing that says that's the actual law of the world.
Sure. No, I give you
that. If
that.
your job is to be a hitman, and that's how you make your living, what makes that any more or less evil than somebody that, I don't know, is a banker or is a lawyer or is a whatever?
You can think about it. Lawyers are evil. Bankers are evil. If you think about it, certainly those people are definitely evil.
100%. He was a gig worker.
Wasn't he a good Nazi in Valkyrie? Right. Like, what's a good Nazi? Like, what is that?
Valkyrie was actually really good because it's based on a true story.
That was that Brad Pitt movie, right?
No,
Valkyrie.
It was a Tom Cruise movie. He played an undercover agent that was basically He had to pose as a Nazi,
Oh.
and he went in to like one of Hitler's planning meetings,
Mhm.
and he brought a bomb in with him, and this actually did happen. I don't remember the people's name and all that, but it's like they brought a bomb in trying to basically assassinate Hitler, because it was one of those. There were some Germans that were like, dude, this guy is going to get our country destroyed. Like, he's too freaking fanatical and crazy. We got to take him out. So there was a group of Germans that brought in I don't remember which side he represented, if he was British, whatever. Either way it goes, they got this guy in, and he basically was there in the room, tried to set the bomb off. Hitler got away, or whatever.
It had something to do with the table that it was there.
It was like the bomb couldn't penetrate a table. Again, fluke that he survived, but again, and it was a cool movie because it's the trailer for it. This was one of the first trailers, if you look at the trailer of that movie, that sets up that almost Christopher Nolan, how Christopher Nolan's trailers like start with something, then they just build and build and build. Valkyrie, I don't think Chris Nolan had anything to do with it, but Valkyrie has that type of trailer. It has like that real cool, crisp timing to the trailer, and it just just keeps it ramping up the intensity. So yeah, Valkyrie is actually a really good movie, but again, it's one of those, once you've seen it, you've seen it. You don't need to really sit back and try to watch it again because it's based on a historical thing.
Right.
It's not bad though.
Right. No. So let's see. Tom Cruise obviously is mostly synonymous with action. If you think about it, he's had numerous action roles, whether it be Top Gun, whether it be Mission Impossible, Collateral. I guess technically would be kind of like an action deal. As an action star, would you rate him? Would you put him on your Mount Rushmore of action stars?
He feels different. Like, I don't know how to describe it. 80s and 90s, action stars, didn't have much dialogue, wasn't much acting, a lot of fighting, blowing stuff up.
Yeah, one-liners.
Just how it was.
One-liners, yeah.
And he wasn't doing that in the 80s and 90s. He didn't really start doing that till the 2000s and now. But his action movies just feel different. They just feel like more well put together. They're not just blowing stuff up. And we enjoyed it. I'm not saying it's bad or anything. Because, I mean, people nowadays, these movies are bad. But in the 80s, if that movie came out in the 80s, they'd be like, oh, yeah, this is good. This is a great movie. Anyway, I would kind of have to say yes. He just feels different because he's more all around. Like, he is definitely not just, I mean, going from like Lestat to friggin'
Ethan Hunt.
Ethan Hawke, not Ethan Hawke, but
Hunt.
Ethan
Hunt.
Yeah. Just different characters. It feels a lot different.
What about you, GQ? Would you put him on your top 5?
I wouldn't put him on as an action star.
No?
I'm very similar to what Dido was saying. I would put him, now here's the thing. I would put him on as a person that turned a lot of actors on to becoming producers of their films. Because he definitely, I'm not going to say he pioneered that, but he was like one of the first 20 million a movie actors of all time. Like, he was, again, the reason for Mission Impossible, the reason he executive produces most of his films now is so he can do what he wants to do in his films. It's like, when the studios told him, no, you can't do those stunts, he was like, okay, watch me. So he became executive producer, I think, on the next Mission Impossible. Is like, I'm about to do what I want to do. Have a seat. Like, so, I mean, that's power. To me, he represents old school Hollywood power in the sense of just like, he walks in, studios are going to listen to what he has to say. When he wants to go to a location to shoot, those various locations are going to be like, oh, Tom Cruise is in town. All right, shut that street down, shut this street down, give him this from this time to this. He has that type of pull. He's got ridiculous amounts of clout in Hollywood. So on that aspect of it, I respect him, all till the cows come home, as they say.
But you would not put him as
I would not put him on as an action star. I would put him on as old school Hollywood, like, icon in that regard. Like,
when they talk about the quote unquote movie star, like, a lot of people say the movie star is dead, right? They say Clooney is a movie star. Tom Cruise, you could say, is a movie star in that same vein, right?
Exactly.
Because would you say Schwarzenegger is a movie star, but because he doesn't have that kind of clout, maybe he's not? I don't know.
I think Schwarzenegger kind of has that clout. I mean, he's been around for a very long time, but and Arnold also tried to do more diverse things as well. It just his action movies stick out more, and his comedy movies kind of like are right underneath that. And I don't recall any just straight dramas that have no action, no fighting in it from Arnold Schwarzenegger. I don't think he did anything like that I can recall. I mean, if he did, then you guys let me know.
Yeah, I don't think he did, honestly. He did a film right before he became governor called Around the World in 80 Days. I don't remember his role in that. I think it was a very small role or something like that. But yeah, here's the thing. Arnold, Stallone, Cruise, maybe even Bruce Willis to an extent. Those guys are kind of like the true icons in the movies. They're all icons for different stuff and different reasons, but to me, those are the guys that will walk into a place and they'll shut the place down to let them do their thing.
Did you say Bruce Willis?
Yeah.
I don't know if I put Bruce Willis on that list. I don't know.
Yeah. There was a time when Bruce Willis could pretty much snap his fingers and get whatever he wanted, especially around Die Hard. Now, granted, those later Die Hard movies got more ridiculous. But Bruce Willis has been around for a minute, man. Don't forget, all the way back from Moonlighting.
No,
And once he hit Die Hard, Bruce Willis was like, he was that dude.
Okay,
So
okay, I get it. All right, guys.
Yeah, Fallen Marvel. Bruce Willis walks the time, could run.
Literally, yes. No, that's a great comment. I think the second time I meant to bring that up earlier, but yes, he is right. All right, guys. So before we hit the Power is Yours segment, I asked the Culture Junkie Nation over on Facebook to vote in a poll of the top 5 roles that Tom Cruise has ever, and I mean ever had, and he's had a lot. Maybe even I think he's been in like 60 movies, so he's had over 60 roles, or maybe he's acted in a couple of sequels, so maybe more like he's had 58 roles. Whatever. He's had a lot to choose from. Some more memorable than others, obviously. So right now, I'm going to present to you the top 5 roles of Tom Cruise's entire career. And the first one, number 5, tied. It was Lestat from Interview with the Vampire and Jerry Maguire in Jerry Maguire, obviously. Lestat was one of Cruise's more memorable roles, playing the sire of Brad Pitt's Louis in Interview with the Vampire, but Jerry Maguire defined Cruise for the entire 90s, if you have to say, because his turn as a sports agent striking out on his own earned him an Oscar nod and a Golden Globe win. But it also endeared him with an entire generation with his whole "Showed Me the Money" scene with Cuba Gooding Jr. Like, people still do that to this day.
Cuba.
What do you guys think of these two roles?
Show Me the Money is definitely there, but the main line from that movie, real quick, main line from that movie that most people remember is "You Complete Me."
From Renee Zellweger, sure.
Yeah,
that was from that movie.
Yeah.
That wasn't from like one of those other rom-coms.
That became a pickup line for a very long time, right after that movie came out. Now, obviously, "Show Me the Money" is a huge memorable line, but "You Complete Me" is still used in movies now. Hell, the Joker said it to Batman in Dark Knight.
Yeah,
so I mean, it's like
complete me. Yes, no, he did. You're right.
It's like that line stuck around. I give it back to you.
Okay. All right. So in number 4, we have Vincent from Collateral. Now, we talked about this earlier. In the film, Cruise plays a hitman who uses his taxi driver Jamie Foxx to drive him around town to carry out his kind of complex contract. But Cruise rarely plays villains, as I mentioned before. But this role might be his best performance as a villain. Yeah. He was his usual charming self, but he was able to flip the switch and become a remorseless assassin when necessary. And he was doing some stuff in there. Was just like, oh man.
Well, I mean, don't forget he killed Bruce Banner.
He did
in that movie.
He did. He was up against Jason Statham too in that movie.
No, Jason Statham's not.
I swore I saw a picture with him and Jason Statham in that one.
No.
You sure?
Absolutely, pretty sure.
Okay.
Yeah, come on now. If Jason Statham would have been in that movie,
he doesn't lose.
Well, no. This would have been early in Statham's career, but Statham was not in that film. It was Mark Ruffalo and the other dude that looks like a very like on drugs,
Yeah,
skinny
Collateral.
Jason Statham. I forgot his name.
Maybe that's why.
I know the actor you're talking
maybe that's
about.
why. Maybe
I know
that's
the
why.
actor you're talking about. I just can't remember his name. But I was, of course, also Jada Pinkett Smith was in the movie, as well as, of course, Jamie Foxx,
Mm-hmm.
the taxi driver, and a young Javier Bardem was in that movie as well,
okay.
as the basically Cruz's handler.
Okay.
Not handler, the guy
Yeah.
who had hired him. Basically.
Yeah. Essentially.
Oh,
yeah.
wow. That was 2004?
Yeah, that was
Holy
2004.
shit.
That movie's old, dude.
Yeah, man.
That movie's
it,
old.
it was.
I
a
did
great
not
movie.
realize it was
We,
that
we
old.
watched it in Florida. Remember?
We did.
Yeah.
Now, I remember watching it recently. That's
Yeah.
what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Like, it just didn't, I don't want to say timeless, I guess, but it just didn't feel old.
All right. So number 3, Les
Oh, yeah.
Grossman.
There you go.
Les
Yeah.
Grossman from Tropic Thunder. So it was a role so surprising, as people mentioned in our chat earlier. Many didn't even recognize it was him until almost a third of the way through.
Yeah.
Another funny thing about that is this is obviously that came out in, I want to say 2008 or 9.
Mhm.
No,
What, Tropic
2008.
Thunder?
2008, yeah.
Yeah.
Came out in 2008 because it came out the same year as Iron Man. But it
You
came out
sure?
right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It came out right before Iron Man because when the Blu-rays and DVDs came out, the extras they put on there was like, oh,
Yeah,
well, now that
2008.
you're Iron Man and you're making all this money, that all
Mhm.
the extras was about about Robert Downey playing Iron Man
Mhm.
and Jack Black playing Kung Fu Panda.
Yes.
So yeah, but here's the thing. So this is obviously early big leaks and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
They said Tom Cruise found out that somebody leaked that he was going to be in the movie. He was pissed. He made sure that got scrubbed off the internet.
Mm.
I was like, good God.
Easier
man,
to do back then.
Tom
Oh, no,
Cruise could have
absolutely.
been
Way
Iron
much
Man.
easier. Way
So
easier
what?
to do back then.
Tom Cruise could have been Iron Man.
Yes.
Oh no, no, yeah, that was always,
Honestly,
that was
I
always
still,
what they
I still
wanted
want to
back
see that
in
in
the day.
MCU. Like, I want him to be a variant Tony Stark. I still need to see that. But anyway, so
100 million. How about I send you a hobo's dick cheese?
yes, Grossman may be his most memorable role. Like, and personally, I need a Les Grossman film.
Here's why that probably will never happen. Grossman is a mixture of Harvey Weinstein and one other producer or something that pissed off Tom Cruise at the time.
Mhm.
So I don't think that's going to happen, especially
Right.
after what happened with Harvey Weinstein going to prison.
I mean, but still, to say this role was so against.
Oh no, he was he was hilarious.
Yes, it was against Cruise's usual type.
Absolutely.
It would be a massive understatement to say that is a role so against his type. And like you said, it was essentially a film satire unlike any other we've ever seen, featuring a unbelievable black-faced Robert Downey Jr. Cruise's expletive-effusing film producer stands out 2 decades later.
We don't negotiate with terrorists.
Okay, hold on. Minority Games wants him to be a super stripper. He strips during the night and does heroics during the day.
Didn't they make a TV
What?
show about that, though?
Wow. I don't know, but Les Grossman. Yeah, I would love if they did make a
Nope,
Les
Jason
Grossman movie.
Statham was in Collateral.
Really?
Well, somebody mentioned it just got him credited as that airport man.
That's what I thought. I thought I saw him.
It might have been before
Uh-huh.
it blew up. You said it was 2004.
Yeah,
That could have been. When did the one come out?
the one.
Yeah, that was like 2000.
With Jet Li,
Yeah.
2000, 2001.
something
Yeah.
like that.
So like he
Um,
still was probably early in his.
Oh no, definitely early in
Getting
his
out there.
career. But I'm saying he did not have a role that because Mark Ruffalo's partner was like I said, looks like a cracked out Jason Statham.
Yep.
Yeah. They
So-
said airport man, so I
Yeah.
don't know.
Oh
So
yeah, more than
apparently he
likely
was in
somebody
there.
that just he showed up for one thing and then got killed, or just
Right.
was there. But yeah.
All right,
Fair enough.
guys. So obviously going back to
To the top five.
the top 5, number 2, excuse me, Lieutenant Pete Maverick Mitchell. And this was the role that put Cruise on the map in Hollywood, so to speak. Everything up to this point had Tom Cruise as kind of like an up-and-comer in Hollywood. But Top Gun is where he became a bankable movie star. And Top Gun is remembered as one of the quintessential 80s films. And Cruise is the biggest reason why. The long-awaited sequel, Top Gun Maverick, broke box office records in a pandemic. A pandemic
Absolutely.
where people were not going to the movie theaters. They came out to see that. So odds aren't great that he'll do a third Top Gun, but I wouldn't put it past him. He could do it if he wanted to.
I hope that he doesn't. That's one that I don't want them to over milk. like Top Gun Maverick is actually probably it's almost as perfect a sequel as Terminator 2 is a perfect sequel. Like Top Gun Maverick was much better than the original in almost every way. And, you know, the film itself just worked. It was really good. You know, obviously the film is a rehash of the original film, but as a sequel, Top Gun was just, you know, Maverick rather was just like heads and shoulders above better than the original. But yeah, I don't want them to suddenly just be like, oh, we're gonna make a third one. Like,
yeah.
About what?
Yeah,
Like,
I guess so.
They tied up every possible loose end you could tie up in that movie.
I guess it's true.
So
I guess it's true. All right, guys. So number one, probably no surprise. And I had to do it with a running shot because you got to do it with a running shot. Agent Ethan Hunt. And honestly, what can you say about this film? Would anyone have thought when the first Mission Impossible film was released in 1996 that we'd be getting ready to watch the 7th installment of the franchise almost 30 years later?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
First one was so good though.
Yeah.
I remember seeing that one in the theater. You know, obviously the vault break sequence was like that was you could hear a pin drop in that theater. It got so quiet watching that sequence. So that's to me that's when you can have a crowd in the palm of your hand like that and just have complete control over an entire theater. That's good movie making for me.
Indeed.
That's why I've enjoyed a lot of the Marvel films. It's like everybody's invested on those various moments as they happen. And Mission Impossible does that a lot.
100%.
And again, that's a testament to Cruise, his dedication to filmmaking and you know, lately putting his life on the line.
100%.
This stuff done, but I mean, you know, it is what it is, and he does a really good job with it.
Right, like you just mentioned, the stunts that Cruise does himself at his increasing age is reaching Jackie Chan levels of crazy. Yeah. Like hanging off of the side of a plane that just took off. Hanging out of I think he was hanging out of one of the buildings in Dubai too.
Yeah, the Wiz Khalifa.
Yeah. And now even as we saw from the trailers, him riding that bike basically off a cliff and then, you know, basically doing
it's a base jump.
Essentially base jumping, yeah. But you know, man, we don't know how many more we'll get with Cruise's Ethan Hunt.
One because
one more.
Dead Reckoning Part 1 and Part 2 is the end of it.
Okay, all right. So. But we're all the better. We've been all the better to get Ethan Hunt. No, at 100%. All right, guys. So that is the top 5 roles of Tom Cruise's career as voted on by the Culture Junkie Nation. If you want to participate in our next poll, make sure you follow us over on Culture Junkies at Facebook.com or join us over on Threads. Search for Culture Junkies on Threads, and we're there too as well. So without further ado, the power is yours. The power is yours. Hannah Omega says, anybody who makes Jackie Chan you crazy is really doing something right.
Minority Report was robbed. Minority Report was
robbed of what? Like
that was. I think that was one of his for me, his top 5 films. I like Minority Report a lot. Yeah, like for me it'd be like Minority Report, Legend. I can't put it in order right now. Top Gun Part 2. Yes, more than I think Part 2 is better than the first one.
Yeah.
Interview with a Vampire, and even though he didn't star, I mean, he was in it. Tropic Thunder.
Now, you know, I have to apologize to the rest of the nation because I did want to do a top 5 movies, but I felt like it would probably, you know, take a little bit too long to do that, and getting a consensus top 5 from everybody probably would be pretty hard. But I love that you shared yours, Dido. GQ, do you got a top 5?
Mine is pretty close to what the results were. Obviously, you know, Les Grossman is a fan favorite and one of my favorites. Just again, it's an out of the blue, you know, performance and character that he created, because you know he Ben Stiller asked him, you know, of course as a favor, they're good friends or whatever. It's like, can you be in this film? He's like, yeah, but I want to do this particular character. And he came up with the whole basic character. I'm like, okay, that's hilarious and crazy. Let's see. Who does the best crackhead in acting?
Minority Games is asking who does the best crackhead in acting. I think Bobby Brown is top tier.
Bobby Brown was in acting? I thought he is a crackhead, not acting as
yeah, that ain't acting.
And honestly, Sam?
I don't pay attention to crackheads that much, but
Sam Jackson.
Who?
Yeah, early Sam.
Yeah, early Sam Jackson.
Early Sam Jackson was good. I think Chris Rock in New Jack City was
yeah,
was
he'd
really
probably be
good.
there more.
Yeah.
Pookie. Yeah.
Yes. He wasn't a crackhead, but Robert Downey Jr. in Less Than Zero was kind of fucked up. But I don't think he was a crackhead. I think he was just on some shit. Sam was method in Jungle Fever. So honestly, I was with a white woman. I've never seen Jungle Fever, not once in my life.
I've seen bits and pieces back when I had cable.
I've seen
never
bits and
sat
pieces.
watching it.
Obviously, I know the Stevie Wonder song.
Yeah, everybody.
Everybody knows that. But I don't think I ever watched Jungle Fever ever once in my life.
Tekeem, appreciate the
Appreciate the bit, sir.
There.
Honestly, man, you haven't had a chance to really whip out the soundboard like that today.
Kittredge,
You know?
never seen me very upset.
One of the best lines. One of the best lines.
Might have been Holly's first role, possibly. I don't know. Maybe
In what?
in whatever movie they're talking about in the chat.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. Like, I am glad that Kittredge is coming back as a bring it around full circle in Dead Reckoning. I thought that was actually kind of cool.
Wasn't he in 5 too?
Nah. Kittredge
Has Kittredge not been in it since
has
1?
not been in since 1.
Really?
Yeah.
I could have swore I seen him.
No, the IMF director in every single film changed, except when they brought in, I think it was Alec Baldwin.
Yeah, Alec Baldwin.
He was the only one that crossed between one movie to another, then he got killed.
Okay.
Yeah, because
Okay.
they've had the guy that plays Kittredge, they've had Sir, what is his
Sir Anthony Hopkins.
Anthony Hopkins.
Mm-hmm.
They had Lawrence Fishburne.
It's true.
Then they had in 4, I'm trying to remember who it was in Ghost Protocol. If Ghost Protocol might have been when Alec Baldwin
I think it was him
took the role,
because
and he was in 5. He was in 4, 5, and 6. Then
didn't he get killed in Fallout?
I can't tell you that because somebody hasn't seen Fallout.
Oh.
No, but what it was?
Haven't
No.
seen
Here's what it was. Here's what it was.
I might watch
Yeah.
it tomorrow.
That's
Okay,
cool.
if I want to play Zelda or not.
Absolutely. No, Alec Baldwin's character was antagonistic towards the IMF in 4.
But that was a cover.
Yeah, no. He was in a whole different department.
Yeah,
Okay.
Then he can't. No. We're not even talking about Fallout. We're talking about like the 4th one.
Mm-hmm.
So he was antagonistic to their thing because he was like, look, you guys are the spies thing, it's old, it's old
Mhm.
hat. It's like, stop it. We got technology. We don't need you guys doing this crazy stuff anymore.
Right.
By the end of the film, he found out basically why they did need him and whatnot. Then he ended up becoming the director.
The director. Basically, their shield from.
Yeah, because
Everybody
his
else, yeah.
quote unquote bodyguard
Yeah.
was Jeremy Renner's character.
Yes.
And that's when they rolled him into the team. So
Yeah.
Again, it's been a really fun ride
It
throughout
has.
the whole thing.
It has.
Like I said, I just thought it was cool that they brought the actor back to bring. I guess obviously he's probably reprising his role as Kittredge. So
Mhm.
okay, that's kind of cool.
Hannah Omega says Christopher McQuarrie has written and directed the last few MI films. He's really good. Hopefully, when they're over, he goes to Disney and does Marvel or Star Wars. I'd like to see a Star Wars movie from him. I think that'd be good.
Oh, from Macquarie?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I
that'd
think
be
that'd be good.
They always kill Ethan's boss in my movies. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Tekeem.
Well, no. Brassel, which was played by Lawrence Fishburne, didn't die either.
No, he did not. No, he did not.
What you talking about?
Right.
What you talking about, Tekeem?
Right. Tekeem says, nice car, Daito. That
Oh,
wasn't
yeah.
a car.
No,
Well,
that is
one
a car.
was a car. I put the
Oh,
car up
that
there.
was a car. Oh, I thought-
This is
Oh,
the
so-
Lotus. It's
Yeah,
a Lego
Lotus.
Ivahaha.
Okay.
I don't know how to say that right.
Yes.
I remember back when like you first heard about Lotus, that was just Lotus always flew under the radar because there was always everybody loved Lamborghini or they loved Ferrari.
Mhm.
Everybody talked about Porsche. Lotus is one of those supercars that was just like
Okay.
you didn't hear about it that often.
No,
Yeah.
you
but
didn't.
they were freaking
Right.
amazing though.
Right.
This is also what I put up there. That's what you
Right.
didn't see that.
Yep.
Did you guys see that?
Takeda's
What?
bike.
Move.
Kaneda's bike.
I was gonna ask you guys where it's
All right,
from,
so
but-
obviously, nobody wanted to talk about the Blue Bleeder trailer. The Wonka trailer actually came out too. That actually looks really, really good. I think I want to see that. It's supposed to come out this Christmas. He says, by the way, nice shirt, Dido.
That
We're
shirt
gonna
will be
see
available
it.
soon.
It will be
will be
available
available
soon.
One of our
Pretty
new
much.
shirts that we're getting ready to offer.
It's a Love and Peace series. At least that's what I'm dubbing
Love
it.
and peace. Okay.
Yeah, the Star Wars Love and Peace series.
Yep.
Yep.
So, like I said, the Wonka trailer came out. That Ahsoka, teaser trailer came out as
Yeah,
well,
Ahsoka.
or trailer, excuse me, came out yesterday, looking really good. Hannah Omega says Wonka is working that nostalgia for the original hard. Didn't know it was a musical. It looks good though.
Here's the thing, though.
Definitely looks good.
Here's where we're getting into that weird territory, because we've had the Gene Wilder one is a classic and is just untouchable. That
Correct.
one was so good that it's just like, I'm good, because I've seen the Johnny Depp one, but it's like I always go back to the Gene Wilder one.
I felt like I didn't want to watch the Depp ones because I knew they wouldn't match up to the original for me.
They're good. No,
I know they're good.
His portrayal is good, but it's Johnny Depp at his super quirkiest. So it's like it's a weird watch, because I guess it's slightly closer to like one of the versions of the whatever. Anyway, this one is like, okay, now we're diving into his origin. I'm like, I kind of don't need to see that.
Right.
Me personally, it's like, dude, Gene Wilder was good enough.
Some things do not need the mystery. Some things should stay mysterious, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Everybody wants to solve the mystery of everything, and when you do that, something loses the appeal. Like, what would Star Wars have been if we had never seen the fall of Anakin to Darth Vader? Does that make Vader less of a villain? Not really, but removing that mystique, I felt like, especially before we got the prequels, I felt like I could have done without it. Like literally just hearing, how he was a great Jedi and he fell. Did I need to see it? Maybe not. But I was fine without it.
Well, I didn't mind. Here, let me get back in front. I didn't mind seeing it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just I wish Lucas would have asked for some help while he was doing it. Because again, Revenge of the Sith was great.
Mm-hmm.
Attack of the Clones, not so much. There's parts of Attack of the Clones that just could have been excised.
Oh, speaking of the Wonka trailer, Hugh Grant as an Oompa Loompa in the trailer, that was awesome. I loved that part. That was great.
I only saw a small part when he was underneath that glass.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, and he blew the whistle, and then it cut off before he started singing.
Doing the dance. Yes.
You know what's in there.
Yeah, you know what's in there. Well, 100%, you know what's in there.
But I don't know. Again, I will watch it on streaming or something like that. I don't have to go to the theater to see Wonka.
Same thing for Barbie.
They don't turn it into a horror movie. Tripped out like you own drugs or something.
Right.
Nobody wants to talk about the Activision Blizzard merger.
They don't care about
the other stuff that we want to talk about.
That PlayStation. I love the PlayStation. I just wanted a PlayStation.
If the merger brings back some old franchises and reimagines some old franchises, great. That's probably